How are we doing, chat? We all good to go here? I feel we are. I think I got everything set up here. Good to go. Sorry, you hear that, chat? Yeah. That's not you, that's me. Muted to cough, and my mute button is the same for muting in Discord. Let me listen to the stream, make sure audio's all good. Let me listen to the stream, make sure audio's all good. Yes, okay. Hop on live on YouTube. Oh, now it has a... Oh, this has a setting to tell you your uptime now. Okay, cool. I thought they wouldn't do that, because they already went so long without doing that. So cool, are we live on YouTube? Get these... Make these chats as large as I can here in this window. Yep, we're good to go. Alright, welcome everyone. We're taking a look at the Mega Man Star Force Legacy Collection, containing the 3 Star Force games. I was given a code here from Capcom for the Steam version. I'm gonna grab a physical copy of the games for Switch or PS5 at some point as well. Rockman EXE Zone Community. I was just about to say, like, they the most in-depth coverage and everything is gonna be right over there. I have something to talk about here. The only Star Force I talked about it when we played Battle Network. But Battle Network was the series I grew up more on, right? I have played Star Force 1 since then. I played Star Force 1, and I decided... Let me get this a little louder. I decided I was going to wait for the collection to do 2 and 3. After I finished 1. And I'm glad I did. But that also means I'm behind on some coverage here. I was gonna say, Capcom's been reaching out to, like, the right people to, cover it, at least. I feel bad I couldn't do more to cover it prior to dropping. But at the very least, the people that know the games better than I do have done coverage and it's out there. But yeah, and that at least gives me some time to reflect on it too, because it wasn't coming out of it too, like, I enjoyed it too much, but I sit on it and been replaying it the last day and enjoying it more than I did the first time. And I am really looking forward to going through 2 and 3 now, at least. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. So quiet that down, and we're gonna keep on this comparison here. We have DS footage and we have the Legacy Collection footage. There's a bit to talk about for both, but let me start with full screening the Legacy Collection footage. I don't know where it went. There it is. So we'll go over the features and everything here real quick. For all of this absurd amount of adjustments and settings and modifiers, and I don't blame them for having all of these either, and I am glad they are there. So these are originally DS games, and if anyone knows, managing the DS aspect ratio and its resolution is so frustrating, dude. There are some screen ratios here through all these size options where some of them are close to integer scale or are exactly on it. And I'm gonna talk about it and show it later. If being integer scale doesn't bother you, then like ignore what I say about it, because I see it. I see the shimmering. I saw when I was playing the games on emulator for the first time. And speaking of that, we're really gonna like. This is such a nice comparable experience to playing on emulator, and Capcom gets that with some of these collections they do. Where the options offered in here are just significantly more convenient than setting up your emulator. So I was going through the options here, and there's more options over there, but yeah, we have game visuals updated, character icons can be updated, and battle cards can be updated, which they have the source art for the character icons and the battle cards, but they look like they're redrawn anyway. But they look fine, as we'll see later. So I keep those on, but then the game visuals are toned to the turn to the original in the settings here. I'm not gonna play through it with the filter on, as we'll see. Yep, your shield and visualize a bunch of shield in battle. That's how I had it set up. Yeah, no, that's how I had it set up. So it was fine for me going in, and we'll see it, and especially if it's anyone else's first time, I will give some tips that saved me some frustration at a certain point. Because it'll be like. And here, let me just, okay, do that. Oh, they added autosaves too. I think 3 had autosaves, but 1 and 2 now have autosaves, which is very nice. Okay, so let me do that now. Got that up. And got that up. We have a bunch of things to talk about here. So just let me get myself acquainted here. There is a lot to cover in here, but thankfully I can just let this 40 minutes of footage go. Now, the screens are shared like this because they're scaled to the closest integer scale options I have, which is right here in favor of the Legacy Collection, with how much larger that gets to be. This has been a game where we're playing through it, and I think because it's a DS game, and because you have to see both screens, when you emulate it, the screens are going to be smaller than they normally would be. And that makes the shimmering of not being integer scale really apparent and really annoying. Honestly, it's I'm still seeing it here, but at least in the preview. There is no, like, pointing out, like, integer scale. Also, it asks you to name name Geo in the first game, but it doesn't do that anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna let these rock here. With integer scaling, there are options, size ratios in the Legacy Collection that you can pick to minimize the shimmering of not being integer scale. I don't think there's any sizes that are supposed to be deliberate. We're gonna hear a remix soundtrack in the Legacy Collection footage. Because it surprisingly just offered that. Which is not unlike that reminded me of the, what is it? Let me pull it up here. The Capcom Fighting Collection 2? Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is, like, prior to this, the best collection of games Capcom has ever put out. This shit is crazy. For the Capcom, Fighting Collection 2, all the games have very good rollback, and that includes CVS 1 and 2, Capcom Fighting Evolution, Alpha 3 Upper, Power Stone 1 and 2, Project Justice, Plasma Sword. all those games, fantastic netcode, matchmaking, and for a number of those games, they have full, like, rearranged soundtracks. And this collection offers arranged soundtracks for the games. It's insane. And that's not even like a feature that they were like even talking about prior to now. Like that just like is something that just we get to see much later. It feels like that would be an advertising point. Is the like the soundtracks. So far they sound okay, but you do get like an option to even. You get the original option, you get the arranged option, and then you get a favorites option. And for the favorites option, it can pick between whichever one you have. And so you get to at least pick and choose between which remixes you may prefer or not. It'll default to the originals, but if you have like a arranged version favorited, it's to my understanding that that's gonna play it instead. So, back to the beginning of the game here. Anything else I missed while I was covering here? This font I'm not huge on. The reason they do a font like this is because normally it bothers me this much, and I think maybe they could have chose a better font. They have to do that because the original font is so thin, it's really aggravating to scale that font. And I'm just gonna say from, if you've ever tried, a lot of things I'm saying from experience of trying to play the first game through emulation. And all like these, just these quirks to it. That font is if you're not integer scaling, it like easily shifts and becomes illegible or inconsistent in line weight, and it becomes really annoying to read. The screen options and the convenience that the Legacy Collection offers is so nice on multiple fronts between auto screen switching, all the screen layout options, that make it more convenient than dealing with some of the compromises you got to take with emulation, which is things like you probably want to play it integer scaled, so it's not going to take up the full size. This is a game where they utilize both the top and bottom screen at different times, so there are reasons to flip between the two. There are portions of the game that utilize seeing up and down, so in the Legacy Collection, if you come to one of those parts, it will automatically line them up top to bottom. If you're on an emulator, you got to do that on your own and be ready for it. The touchscreen functionalities are utilized in dungeons. There's usually a lot of gimmicks that feature some touchscreen stuff. And I went up to, this is the first 40 minutes of the game.
Wave change. Geostellar. On the air.
There's redone voice acting. There's no voice acting in the original English releases. There is voice acting in the Japanese originals, but that is also redone anyway too. And you can turn it off or turn to Japanese in the Legacy Collection. That's been the thing, is the Legacy Collection is so nice. It's practically a remaster. How feature-rich and everything it is. No voices in Star Force 1, JP, thank you. So it's 2 and 3, I believe. This map feature. Oh my god. The sound effects are updated when you pick a ranged as well. Yeah, thank you for pointing that out too, Zaku. Yeah. Yep. And they, I mean, I would have to go back and compare them if they're just like the originals, raw samples or not. I wasn't paying attention to that. You can definitely tell that they're different though. 2 and 3, yeah, 2, JP only has VA work. 3 has English voices. Okay, that's right. Because I was hearing the comparisons. I believe it's linked in the description for a preview video from Shadow Rock a couple weeks ago, and he has a sample of it in there. We're going here pretty fast. There is a moment I showed a bit ago where If you hold if you click in R3, you get to preview around the whole map, and I'm gonna go back for this.
EM wave change, Geostellar, on the air.
After you pulse in, not jack in, you pulse in. You can hold R3 and you can look around in the map. This is one of those features that, like when I was reading about what the Legacy Collection offered as I was going through the first game, one of the things that bothered me was that I don't think is going to bother many other people, is the encounter rate. More people talk about like Star Force 2's encounter rate. I felt that the 1-in-1 was pretty high. One of the reasons it was... There were a few reasons it was annoying. The load times going in and out of battles, which is now significantly faster in the Legacy Collection. You are in and out of battles much snappier. It's nice. It's only like a brief pause in the original too, but even that nice time saver is nice. You can adjust the encounter rate in the Legacy Collection if you do think it's too high. Let me catch this up here. There we go. That'll be close enough. And one of the reasons the encounter rate became a problem was the amount of aimlessly wandering around. Star Force 1, I think, has some maps that they're nowhere near as like lucrative as like Battle Network 1's maps, but I did wander around pretty aimlessly in that game, and in doing so, you're gonna run into a lot of encounters. The map feature is nice because you can just look at the map, figure out where you want to go, and even see which items are around and make beelines for them, and then you don't have to run into nearly as many incidental battles as I did. So I, at the very least, I don't know if you want to use just the encounter rate, that's up to you. I don't even think it's necessary. Utilizing the map function just to look around the map, that's really highly encouraged. That's a big feature I think should really be considered in your first playthrough. 60%, 40%. Well, what's that relative to? Like step count? Like there's a more math on how that works, right?
Got you.
Goodbye.
Either way.
Did you really think you could beat us?
Voiced by Kyle Herbert, so I keep hearing Ryu from Omegasys. Let me slow myself down here. So yeah, there were original voice recordings such as for 3, and those are gone. Thank you for reminding me of that as well, Zaku. Yeah, so you only have the remastered, re-recorded voice lines.
Have some of this.
Goodbye.
I hope I can get even stronger.
And again, it's all optional in it either way. So it's, let me see, some of those benefits you can adjust the encounter rate, you can make it even higher, or you can just turn them off entirely. There's a speed boost function as well, and I'm gonna start using it at the end of this footage. But you already move like at a decent speed in this game, I feel. But if you do want that, it is there. I think if you're not utilizing the map feature as much, yeah, at least you have that speed boost feature too, just to walk faster. That's what it's for. So getting to adjust the encounter rate and movement speed are very, very good. There's a setting for recovering your HP after every battle. Not necessary because this game also has autosaves, and the autosaves can be very, very good. Because of that, I don't think if you want to play it safe, the HP recovery is there. But you do have autosave, so it's not the end of the world to losing any encounters. Guaranteed escaping from battles is another one too that's here. I feel like I had a harder time escaping from battles too during Star Force 1. But I mean, the pacing of the game can be adjusted so nicely with the other options. Going through it, I don't know if I would be worried about it. Again, just, I can't emphasize enough that at least for me, seeing the map and knowing where you're gonna go and make sure you don't miss anything, because you can see where to beeline to all these things. It's so nice. Yeah, you do get your HP. Well, that was one of the things that did bug me in the game was, yeah, if you want your HP from pulsing out or jacking out, it's like usually like two steps of pulse out and then pulse out again and then retrace your steps. So I don't think it's a bad idea to consider that. It's those kind of things that got to me at first. And this would be a good time to ask some other questions too as I continue to go through these games. One thing that did one thing I thought of with the encounter rate and why, here, let me get control of that, turn it down. Okay, so in the Battle Network Legacy Collection, you cannot turn off encounters. It is, in some of the games, like in 3, there is a mechanic tied to the number of encounter battles you do, which is tied to your style change. The option to turn off random encounters impacts the player changing their style or upgrading their style. There may be workarounds there, but I understand, like, on a fundamental level, that's a good reason. That could be a reason used to justify not adjusting the encounter rate in the Battle Network games. In Star Force, one of my hang-ups when I was a kid, not now, was the difference in the battle system. This battle system is perfectly fine.
I hope I can get even stronger.
The core mechanics of it have a lot more interesting things going on with them, and I understand that. And a lot of it that's built more around risk-reward and understanding enemy patterns. And that's a huge thing to emphasize too for anyone new is enemy patterns are huge. But yeah, my point is the battle system is satisfying. Enjoying battles at a brisk pace isn't a problem. But for as often as the game can have you doing random battles, I wasn't sure if there was like a mechanical reason or advantage to constantly doing battles as often. Like, what would I lose out of turning off encounters entirely? In Battle Network, if I was playing 3, I'm never going to get a style change or upgrade my style. In Star Force, I didn't really see any disadvantage. Besides money and chips. But I mean, it feels like fundamentals and understanding the system carry you significantly further in Star Force. But then again, I guess you could say that about Battle Network 6's starting chips because they figured out how to balance those really well. I don't know, and I didn't sink too much time into anything else after finishing the game either. But I'm just reminiscing on what I was thinking of the encounter rate. And what the purpose was to these random battles.
Goodbye.
But the battle system itself is significantly more interesting and engaging than I gave it credit for a while.
We showed them who's number one.
I was going to talk more about it when I was doing the tutorial fights. There's a lot to consider in risk-reward because there's a lot of occasions where locking onto an enemy doesn't even guarantee you're going to safely, like, take them out, there's still animation startup times and recovery. And same for the enemy. When you lock on and you attack, you're not invincible. So it relies on patterns, understanding enemies, understanding which ones you can respond to, and generally reacting and making sure you're not going to get blown up. But I mean, it's something really, when you start looking for patterns, it starts making a lot more sense. If you keep trying to throw yourself, sorry, bud, if you keep trying to throw yourself at enemies locking on, like it's going to be immediately a reward for you, you're going to get hit because you don't have iframes when you do that. Very similar to Punch Out. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a much better way to put it. And in that case, it's Capcom. It's Street Fighter devs. In some cases, anyway. But anyway, making a video for the game or just a stream. There'll be a video eventually. I don't know when, though. That's hence why we're doing the stream, because I don't know when I'll get around to a video. And I was saying at the beginning, I've only played Star Force 1. So I'm able to at least talk about that experience. But I was waiting for the collection before playing 2 and 3. So now that the collection is out, I'm going to start 2 and 3. And I am glad I waited, because yeah, like I was saying, all the convenience and all the features to the Legacy Collection just minimizes all the manual tweaking and things you would otherwise be doing in an emulator or want to do in an emulator. I do think of it a lot with, they do it with their fighting game collections, again, because they design them in a way where they understand their competition is emulating. Why would you buy these games officially when you could just emulate them? Well, here's the list of convenient features that are right here for you. In the fighting game collection, it's giving you all these games with rollback netcode, some of which are not on Fightcade or can be improved from there, and then also the matchmaking in general. And things like the optional soundtrack and the arranged soundtrack, all the re-recorded voice lines, the autosaves. Like, all these features just put out right there for you. The story and narrative of Star Force is also held to a higher standard, generally, to my understanding. Rather than Legacy Collection, because turning off encounters whenever you need it is much better than off completely with cheats. Right, you could use... And this is what's, like, more work involved with cheats. You can do a cheat code where it is... What I did was, I would hold down the Y button, and as long as I was holding down Y, it would disable encounters. But that is a code I had to go out of my way to find, and then change the button to be the Y button. And in here, it's a built-in function. Yeah, I'll probably explain the integer scale stuff afterwards. Though thinking on it, I guess for this, I still should have had them even out anyway. It's just that I can... Well, even here, I'm gonna be playing the game left to right format, and 2 ticks from the right is an integer scale for left to right layout. but that's on a 1440p monitor. I don't know if that's integer scale for 1080p display. You just have to like see for yourself, but I'll explain how to see for yourself later. If it's something that sticks out to someone. Like if you don't care about or like see the shimmering or anything from it not being integer scale, good. You know, let it stay that way. Otherwise you can, because if you do that, then you can just play in whatever screen layout you want, you're not gonna notice. Controls anything other than Switch is pretty messy. I haven't noticed anything. Well, I mean, I get tripped up from A and B being swapped on an Xbox controller on PC. But other than that... The shield, there is a shield in this game, and that is a more interesting thing. If I recall, I don't remember... No, I think there was a space in my playthrough. The shield should not be underutilized. The shield is really damn good in this game. For which attacks it can block. For how long it stays out for. And one of the more important things about it is you can cancel the block animation with a chip. But if you do that, you still don't have iframes, so you still have to be careful. However, that is a mechanic to it. And that helps with managing like the deliberate design of the combat in this game. But that was something I slept on for a while. There's a thing where when I do multiple games, it's not just Star Force, where if I'm not understanding the game, until I understand the gameplay more, it feels more grating. And then once it clicks, everything just goes so nicely and smooth. And then the combat becomes satisfying.
You're done.
So I was also looking there for how long the DS stays on a black screen after a battle ends. It stays there for a good second at minimum.
Blasted them into stardust.
And then in the Legacy Collection, you're instantly right back into it. That is so much nicer. You're right in and out of battle. In the long run, for how long the games can be and how much you're going to be playing, that saves such a nice amount of time and is so convenient.
Here we go.
And that just really like impacts the perception of how much of a drag battles are. Like, it's very possible in my original playthrough, everything else vanilla, just the battles loading faster could have made a difference on my impression, because they feel significantly less inconvenient.
I hope I can get even stronger.
And you can skip the transformation cutscenes when you pulse in, yeah. And then if you're holding a button, it even skips like the very start of battle. But yeah, when you pulse in, you just hold select, hold start. Well, that's weird. I sure hope that fixes itself. Okay, there it goes. I sure hope that doesn't happen again.
You won't be getting out of this in one. Goodbye. You're no match for us.
Man, I've been yapping. Yeah, I would hope that this would, like, maybe they can go back and update the other collections. I would have hoped that they could, because those are other Capcom developed ones internally. Like, the only collection I think would be like, not considered for that is the Street Fighter collection, because that was an outsourced job. Every other collection since then has been internal, and some of those Capcom fighting collections for the fighting games 1 and 2 have received updates with not new content, but nominal, notable changes.
Pulse in.
So, I mean, it could be entirely possible. I don't know how much more other Mega Man fans keep up with how much Capcom does outside of Mega Man. But there's a little bit of a precedent for that with Capcom at the moment. There's hope. This bull riding. So this is a touchscreen minigame in the original. And here it's just QTE button presses. If you remap any of the face buttons, it will change that button as well. So it when you remap buttons, it has more changes than what it says it does, depending on what else use those buttons in vanilla. Here's the thing. So you see my cursor in the bot. I'm utilizing my cursor here. Utilizing a cursor to hit these buttons is frustrating and not faster than just using your stylus. And if you're trying to use like the right analog stick for your stylus, you're gonna miss that. Not only are like you have to hit those buttons, but the placement of them changes too. The touch screen buttons during this minigame with the bull are not in the same spots. They have a little bit of variation. They're generally in the same spot, but they have a little variation. You change the text font? No. Unfortunately, you can't. I'm gonna hold out for mods on that front. But they could have chosen a better font. They for sure could have went with some closer font. The font still did need to be changed just because of how thin it is. Really, how thin it is in the original is what the problem is. Because upscaling that font on the left is not easy at all. Oh yeah, there's my menu. RetroArch menu, making save states because I didn't want to lose my original playthrough save file. But I also knew how this bowl segment can go. Yeah, the Legacy Collection here for Star Force offers an absurd amount of screen ratio size options. But scaling these games, especially because they're DS games, and so you have to see both screens, so both screens have to fit on screen at the same time in some capacity, meaning they cannot always be as large as they can be. Scaling issues like shimmering appear far more frequently. Okay, so is this a part where I change this? No, I'm just fiddling with the encounter rate. After we do this, I'll boot up the game and I'll like go through what I'm talking about with the integer scale, because otherwise I think it would be much easier to just directly show it and explain it than try to go off of this footage here. Let me see my script here. Some notes I took down. See if there's anything else I want to mention. Restored cut content, because there was region exclusive content that is now just present in all regions now. This includes event cards and collabs, because there was one with Lunar Knights, aka Boktai DS. Wave command cards were in Star Force 2, but Europe never got them. And the noise cards from 3 were only ever in Japan, and we got them now. You have the music player and the gallery. The menu character isn't just Geo or Omega, it can also, for DLC, Sonya or Luna. The Sky High multiplayer, Coliseum multiplayer from the second game is cut. That was a 2 to 7 minigame. 2 to 7 player minigame running around collecting stars, and you would do PvP battles running into each other. There was something very similar to it in Operate Shooting Star, which I covered in the Battle Network port review video. It's similar to what that minigame was. And while Operate Shooting Star isn't here, there is a toggleable Battle Network content option present, What that fully entails, personally, I don't know, but it is like a literal option there. And there is some segment of the game with Mega Man EXE, but it's extremely brief as far as I can tell. And there is online trading in PvP, but there is no crossplay. So we talked about the dungeon touchscreen gimmicks. They are button appropriate now. Let's see.
Here they come.
There is when you're moving around in the net, what you would call the net in this game. You can click on other people to access.
Here I go.
I don't want to call them PETs. Well, they're transers. Yeah, they're transers. You would before have to click them on the touch screen. You don't really have a confirmation that they're there aside from just tapping on them. But there is now UI and button, very clear UI that you can go into the terminal of other people. So a lot of that information just ends up being clear because it's all UI and button shown, rather than dependent on using the trying to touch things on the touch screen. We talked about some of the modifiers, some of the other modifiers. Like, what am I doing? Oh yeah, my controller's been doing this. It's been drifting, I think. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway,
I'm ready
there's
to
other
fight.
there's other multipliers like 500% damage buster up, damage reduction from 0 to 100%. Reward zennies increase up to 500%. That's pretty nice. HP recovery after battle, guaranteed escape. EX and version 2 bosses will show up on the map. That is an option you can toggle on so you know where they are. You don't have to wander into a blank corner. The game is like that on the split screen. Yes, it's an option. It lets you... I did up and down since it's a DS game, and because I'm comparing footage, I did up and down for my recording. And it does any of the screen size shifting like that is completely automated. It does that on its own. It has center screen option, a left and right screen option, and this top-down view, and even vertical view if you have a vertical monitor, or you're playing on the Switch version, you can turn your Switch vertical. And then it has size ratio options and everything to accommodate that as well. Okay, so now I turned the speed boost option on, so now I'm gonna do the rest of this dungeon with that full speed boost. You see how much faster you move with that. And I don't think it really impacts the encounter rate to move that much faster. Like it's not counting as additional steps to go that fast, as far as I can tell, at least. And I was talking about the free camera, which is huge, to be able to know where you're going with that, and minimizing aimlessly wandering around. Just look at the map, see where you're gonna go, see where there's any blue mystery data you want to go and pick up, figure it out, and then you have a path and you minimize how many random battles you do. You can have up to 100 brothers per game and can freely choose between 6. The full extent of that, I'm not sure of. I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. And you can remap the buttons, and also you can change the glyphs. It's not just Xbox button options. It does support Switch button options and PlayStation buttons as well for the icon glyphs. We got autosaves. The portraits and battle card options redrawn with the classic pixels present too as an option. 3D portions are higher resolution. I've been talking about these games are a pain to do emulated with the DS because of how important it is to be able to go between both screens and how important it is to utilize the touch screen. So emulating this game is a pain, and it is problem solving. You're going to be doing problem solving as you're playing through the games just on emulator. Because like the features you want are going to be in the emulator, but you're going to be finding them and experimenting them and getting comfortable as you play through. At least in Legacy Collection, it's just all right there. You also have wallpaper background options too, but as you can see, we also just have a black background option. And we have the voice lines we talked about, and these new remixes, the new arranged soundtrack option. which so far I've been enjoying. There have been a few songs that I wasn't like huge on, at least in Star Force 1 so far. So for those ones, I just turn on the alternate versions of them. And yeah, I was going through all this dialogue fast just to be able to get through this whole segment in 40 minutes, because this is up to the first dungeon. Like, this was the whole first dungeon and the tutorial that I fit into 40 minutes here to show off. And we were literally just getting up to the boss fight in the DS version over there. There was also, oh god, as I remember, in the DS version, it took a while to figure out the outlines. There are supposed to be outlines in this game. The default settings I was using on an emulator did not have the outlines present. So that's an inaccuracy. Took me a while to figure out what was up. How do I restore the outlines that are supposed to be on the 3D parts of battles? I think I went with Melon DS, and it worked there. But yeah, you gotta be ready for, you gotta make sure the outlines work. You gotta be ready to swap multiple screen layouts in different sizes. And you gotta be ready to use you're gonna want to use your mouse for the touchscreen. You're not gonna using the right analog stick for the touchscreen functions on emulators a pain. Or just play the Legacy Collection, because it's all set up from the get-go for you. I set this to... I don't see the autoplay. Loop. I don't see the loop. The font, like, personally, I'm gonna get over the font, because all of these other quality of life options are things I would much rather have and be available and convenient than what I had to go through on DS on my emulator. Otherwise, this is something I had to figure out, because I wanted to check and make sure that the emulator on the left there was accurate. I'm gonna replay this now. So before I started the stream, I booted up my 3DS just to make sure that that was actually accurate, how it looked on DS. If you didn't know this, when you use a 3DS, if you hold select and boot up a DS game, it will set it to integer scale, or at least a native scale. It's probably native. And when you do that, it is as sharp as it's supposed to be. It doesn't fill the whole 3DS screen, but it does look much sharper in how it's supposed to look. So doing that, it's like, okay, yeah, so this does look that good on original hardware. It's just the 3DS screens are like that. If you've ever tried to play a DS game on 3DS like this and you thought it was blurry, hold the select button and start the DS game. That's how you do it. That's how you make it sharper. Smaller, but it will be sharper. That was a lot of yapping. Any other questions before I keep yapping about integer scale now? There's a lot that's just gonna like I'm gonna start playing through 2 and 3 and probably on stream as well. Sorry, Nick, I don't appear to have the when I'm on the one of the YouTube stream layouts, I don't think the sound effects were enabled. When we go over to Sonic CrossWorlds, so by the way, we're gonna play Sonic CrossWorlds. I will redeem the bombs for you. So yeah, with all of the features that are here, I'm really glad I waited, and we'll just play through 2 and 3 in this version. What a terrible day. Have you played it since the patch? Because it got some rebalancing. That's why we're booting it up, and I reinstalled Sonic CrossWorlds is because I'm interested in the rebalancing. If the rebalance still sucks. So, what a wonderful day. Yeah, yeah. Alright, chat, give me a second here. I'm gonna swap over to the Legacy Collection, and I'm gonna go over what I'm talking about with the integer scaling stuff here. There it goes. Which could end up entirely irrelevant, depending on, you're gonna use it. Yeah, give me a sec here to set up for this, so... Sorry, that was my mic stand. Let's see. Oh, I opened this up so I could see chat. There we go, there's the YouTube chat. What screen layout am I going to? I guess I'll do full screen? Okay. So, slow down and go through these more properly. So, the other thing with the assist here is there's no, like, UI indication when you have this on. So I would just include the speed boost just so you know it's actually on. But yeah, I'm gonna let that rock. I don't care about these modifiers yet. All these options have been going. And again, it's like I said, really with like the default like speed adjustments themselves, maybe nothing is important. You change the position of the upper and bottom screens. They change automatically when you enter battle. But you do the center view, and you can see it there too. Center view, move them up and down, change how fast it goes between them, and then the size ratio between them. And then when you do X, you get to swap between the two. A good preview of what it looks like when you swap them. I want the gameplay at the bottom, like that. It's like that because that's how it is on the DS. Like with the 3D perspective, that's how it is on 3DS, or that's how it is on DS. If you want to swap the top and bottom screens, no, you can't do that. Because that's how it was originally. Is combat was always on the top screen. And the size ratio. Now I don't need to take a screenshot here. So now this is going to be more of a tangent on just, yeah, let me just start up on the other ones to illustrate this here. This is going to be ranting about integer scaling here. I don't know why, like, I don't know why you need the bottom screen to be the one you see the shooting on. I mean, if you were playing with an actual DS, you would be using the top screen. I don't, like, you could swap them, it's just, I don't know why that would be the preferred way of doing it. So, integer scaling, when you have to have share screen real estate on a game like this with 2 different screens, there is going to be shimmering in pixels. And the smaller you have to, like, make these screens, and it becomes more obvious. Which is why I would show, like, here. Tape vertical and the gameplay at the bottom is way far better. I don't know, but you wouldn't do that on original. Like, this is original. You do the vertical layout. If you're playing on Switch, you do it like this. Or if you have a vertical monitor. How's the collection? Very nice. I was waiting for it to continue playing, and I'm gonna 2 and 3, so now I'm glad I get to play 2 and 3. I'm just gonna do on a rant on integer scale here, and how much it's a pain with DS games and trying to figure them out with pixel art on DS games. You have to share screen real estate with 2 screens. That means these screens can't be as large as they want to be, and especially with the importance of both screens, it's gonna mean compromising some sides on both screens. And when you do that, the shimmering of being not only not integer but being smaller stands out way more. I will give that as a +1 to the Castlevania Dominus collection then. I think Melon DS also let you do that. The other quality of life... Here's another thing. I can relate that I did want... not top to bottom, but I want the bottom screen on the right side instead, and you can't do that here. That's something I'm gonna have to get over. As much as I like that, because in the hybrid layout for Melon DS or whatever, that's how it does it. It puts it over there on the right side instead. You just gotta get used to it. And the other trades and compromises that are fit to how this game functions compared to Castlevania games makes too much sense and takes off too much, like, stress otherwise. But I don't know, Capcom does do updates, maybe they can update it. Anyway, back to my rant on this. I'm looking at the sync. The easiest way to point this out is to look at the sync. It's almost like there's like a wavy pattern. That's what I'm looking at. If you don't see the wavy pattern, you can ignore me. I'm glad you don't see it. If you're not sensitive to it and you don't see it, good. I also see it on the crosswalk lines here. You see shimmering. It's like this, you're almost looking for a wavy pattern in the middle. When you notice this, you're gonna notice it through the entire game along every edge and line. And it will drive you insane if you start to notice it. Why is this? It's because it's not integer scaled. Because they offer you so many size ratios for what you would want. One of the other disadvantages to this is why they had to change the font. If it had the game's original thin font, scaling it in a similar way would also lead to inconsistent pixel width. And goddamn is that annoying. Here's the solution. What you want to do with whatever screen size you want, you're going to try to find a size option where it is integer scale or very, very close to integer scale. On a 1440p display, I found, I believe it's 2 ticks to the left on the center. No, not that one. 2 ticks from the right. There. And it's possible, it's very possible on your own display you're not gonna see it, but for me, the shimmering is gone now. If it's not gone, it's like extremely minimized. So the white lines are one thing to look for. I think it's a lot easier to see in the home and look at the sink. And you're trying to look for that wavy pattern. So at the right size, it'll disappear. On the top to bottom, it's one tick to the right. And I don't think this one's right, but it does minimize it. The one I'm going to be playing is left to right. And if you do the left to right layout, you can do that one 2 ticks from the right or 2 ticks from the left, I believe. But again, I'm going to be playing like this. This is how I'm going to be playing the games. But if you're on a 1080p display, the scale ratio you use might be different. What I did was I did boot up RetroArch and compare the screen size to that integer scale. But an easier way to do it is just flip through these options and keep going through each check until you don't see the waving pattern through it, or at least you see the least amount of waving pattern. It's also worth noting if you use the speed modifier, it's going to make it's going to jitter the screen a little bit as you're running faster. So maybe to a certain degree, you won't even care, because if you're constantly using the speed up, then you're not even going to notice it anyway because the jittering is already in the way. And so lack of no integer scale is the exact reason for things like bilinear filters. This is the purpose of a bilinear filter. If you're playing this on like Melon DS like I was, you have an option of playing at integer scale, or if you want it larger, you're going to let it fill the screen and do very, very slight blur, which will be a bilinear filter. That hiding that shimmering is the purpose of the bilinear filter. In many cases, it's not done right and it's too much. The Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection was like that. It had a very minor blur filter just to minimize the exact shimmering problem that I'm talking about here. They, I guess, would have responded to the criticism of the Battle Network Collection and opted for not doing that kind of filter, and just letting the pixels rock. But I mean, they had to do something anyway because the fonts in this game are way too skinny, and that becomes a problem with non-integer scale. So you have the option of doing like a bilinear filter. That's what its purpose is in emulators. If you're not playing that, it's to minimize the shimmering. If you don't even care about shimmering, then you don't even care about the bilinear filter and you want it off. When I played through on Melon DS, I was playing on a 1080p screen. There wasn't a good integer size for that, so what I did was just filled the screen and did a light bilinear filter. And there you go. Then I could play the game, and I would not see the shimmering. So, bilinear filter. There is a filter option in this game. Where is it? Game visuals. High resolution filter. That's what this is. If you play with the high resolution filter, yeah, you got these smeary, ugly pixels, but this is the intended purpose of this. This is why it ever exists in any game in the first place. If I have the high resolution pixels, I can play at any screen ratio, and I will not run into that shimmering. It is fixed no matter what screen resolution you're at. It's masking it underneath the smeared pixels, but you've solved the issue. So if you use the high resolution filter, none of what I said applies. You can just play however you want. If you don't see the shimmering, then it doesn't apply to you. If you do see the shimmering, and you want to play the original pixels, then you gotta go with the size ratio that minimizes or gets rid of the shimmering. I think I'm done with my rant on that, right? So at the very least, it's, even though it doesn't give like exact laid out options, it doesn't tell you exactly, hey, this is integer scale, this is not integer scale, because it goes by this ratio system. So and depending on your display, it's not true. Like this should not be an integer scale setting for every display out there anyway. So they can't really label it integer scale. You just have to know and know how to look out for it, and that's hopefully what I've explained well enough here. So if I did want to play top to bottom, I would be playing like this, like I did in my footage, because this minimizes the shimmering and that waving as best as possible. But it's not perfect. It doesn't completely get rid of it, so I'm gonna do this. This size gets me the most screen real estate, and it minimizes the shimmering by a lot to where it's not bothering me so much. But also consider at the same time, like I said, if you use the speed up boost function, the screen jitters. And if the screen is jittering like that, I don't think it really matters what size you use. Yeah, the screen is jittering too much to even see the shimmering anyway. But you walk faster, so the features are there, and explaining this is much more convenient than trying to explain this per emulator, per setup. Trying to explain like why you need to use a cursor for the touchscreen rather than your right analog stick. Hold B, it goes through dialogue. Kinda like the green UI. That's a whole other like explanation I'll have to go through at some point. Is the version differences between Leo, Pegasus, and Dragon, and then there's 2 for 2 and 3. As far as I understand, it is not nearly as important as in Battle Network, especially with connectivity with the other games available in the online features. That is at least to my understanding. It seems like it really can boil down to which Mega Man form looks cooler to you, or which boss looks cooler. But that is a fully, like, not personally in-depth look at it opinion. I don't have that knowledge on me yet. It will be some time before I go through 2 and 3. Because yeah, I played Battle Network when I was young. Battle Network was so huge. And then Star Force came out and I tried it. And of course, I was a young kid. I played Star Force, and it wasn't Battle Network gameplay. I was like, why am I only limited to 3 rows instead of a 3x3 side? Why can I only go left and right? That's so limiting. Yada yada yada. Playing it now and understanding the depths of the system, and it was brought up earlier from Zaku. It's much more punch out in terms of its mechanics. This game, which is really nice. There is depth there. And it's more satisfying than I gave it credit for, and there already is changes like the faster loading that I think would have made a different impression on me than from when I first played it. But even if not, all these modifiers would have definitely made an impression on me as well. Like these 2 I would just leave on no matter what. I don't think it's a big deal to just leave these 2 on. Guaranteed escape and HP recovery, that's up to you. I think I would just try to start with them off and just see how you feel about the game, maybe. And then just, if it's something that starts to bother you, remember you have those options. Same with even the assist. Like, I think the run speed by default is already fine. Encounter rate low isn't bad, though. But I mean, you could even rock with it vanilla in 1 just because you have the map feature. So you can avoid aimlessly wandering around and getting into random battles when you are trying to get somewhere, because you can use the map and just figure out exactly where you want to go. So yeah, I'll be back for a full port review video of this at some point, but I have to play through 2 and 3 first. And then I have to play through all my other games on my backlog too, so, you know, stay tuned. I'm glad we could look at this while we could. I'm gonna be still live on Twitch, by the way. But yeah, like, I still gotta get through Tales of Berseria. What else do I still have installed? Resident Evil Requiem's not something I'm really streaming, but playing that. Monster Hunter Stories 3. I'm gonna start up a new playthrough of FF7, but also Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined, Dragon Quest 2. I'm literally at the end of. There's so many games on the backlog. Trails in the Sky. We got Xenoblade, all those games. Bear with me, it's a lot. Here's what my plan is for the year. Actually, is I think the first thing I want to do with a returning video to get back into the groove of things and start with something that'll be more gradual is redoing the FF7 port review. I think I would really like to redo the FF7 port review. I don't know if there's any others I think would need redoing. There was some I thought about redoing, but then it was like, maybe I don't need to. Maybe I covered it better than I thought I did. FF7, I think, could use a redo. And I think that would be good familiar territory to really get myself back into the groove of things. With everything that's just personally gone on in the last 2 years, frankly. With everything that's just been happening. Things are more slowing down, and now is the time to try to find a groove and get back on track. And it may be a good idea to start with something like that. Because even with like some of my other video ideas piling up, they're just piling up. There's too many. It's a bit overwhelming, frankly. So I think I should just start with something I'm really familiar and already have my foot in the door with, and that would be redoing the 7 video, because I already have the original framework to work off of and improve on. And do significantly better. I forgot chat was on screen the whole time. Anyway, so on YouTube, I'm gonna wrap up here, and thank you for watching. I'm gonna still be live over on twitch.tv/awesomenessv. I'm gonna take a short break here, but then we're gonna play some Sonic CrossWorlds. But I believe that's everything I want to say about Mega Man Star Force. And I will be back, and you laid out all my plans for you. I'm glad I got that all out of my system, and I'm glad we could cover this. I'm excited to get into these games. But yeah, let me get myself prepared here to take a break. Thanks everyone on tuning in on YouTube. And to those on YouTube, I will say thank you for watching, and thank you all for the continued support. And bye for now. Now, for those of us on Twitch, give me a minute here to get myself sorted, and then we'll start up Sonic CrossWorlds. Take a good, like, here, let me run an ad break, just so I can, like, take a moment to breathe and stop yapping. Mega Man go-karts, yeah. All right, doing a 3-minute ad break, and then I'll be back. Sorry about that volume, chat. I keep forgetting I have a mute button on the Stream Deck itself. I don't have to keep pressing other mute buttons. Excuse me. Alright everyone, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get started here. Oh wait, let me turn on my character. Almost forgot about that. Might as well, right? Get the light on here. Damn it. I had to change the music program I was using. But I mean, maybe I'll just go back to it anyway, because it just wasn't working with, like, this, Stream Deck interface. What was I doing? Oh yeah, YouTuber. One more moment. Just waiting on the software to start up. It takes longer on this PC. Okay, I think we're good. Well, it takes longer because I have a YouTube thing that doesn't, a plugin that doesn't work. Anyway, alright, we're ready to get started. Okay, or maybe not. Yeah, there's the bombs. Turn the controller back on and back off. Whip, 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 whip. Let me go turn off the controller in the living room. I turned on the Xbox. God damn it. I'll be right back, chat. This stream is Xbox. That's fine, we'll just restart it. There we go. Alright, so we're coming back to this because... Oh, let me change the game on Twitch. So we're coming back to this game because it got some rebalancing. Namely for the power of items was nerfed. But I mean, well, that's far too general. There was a meta for this game. It was a very hard, specific gadget meta. With level 4 boost, that was it, level 4 boost. That shit has been nerfed in general. So we're not just here because Mega Man is here, which, I don't own him. But he's still there. But because of the item adjustments. But I did go and update my mods, so newest version of the vodka. I think Curtail didn't have these physics before. I think that's new. Elizabeth is here over Miku with music too and sound effects.
Please observe my passion.
Pretty cool. There we go. Same with let's see, who else did I mod in? Good music. I had some other ones I already removed. There was a Tachyon one that went over Eggman, and it did replace the voice lines, but I don't think it was really that fitting, and the model had issues. There was a Dark Magician Girl one over Knights, same thing. It kind of had some issues with the rigging, even though it's the character that makes the most sense to replace. But yeah. So stick to vodka. Got turned off, now we're playing Robotnik's Ring Racer. I can live with that. I mean, we'll see how I like it. But yeah, that all said, yeah, I was playing with some ring stuff already. Yeah, I'm good with mine. Welcome, Neko Arc. When I was trying to play last night, they added the option to do World Match during a festival. But when I was last trying to play that, it was not a lot of people on. Oh, there's Floppy. I don't know if Floppy's on yet, but I'll just send an invite anyway. Oh my god, it's the Bob-omb. It's the whip. Hold on. That. Yeah. Yeah, the minecart, over the minecart. That's really, I like what people have done with the minecart. Really funny that they added that. Which, yeah, some of the other characters we haven't played since that have added here. Or ones we don't care about. I guess Pac-Man's fine. Pac-Man's cool. I don't... all this Minecraft shit. We got Arl, though. That's pretty cool. I don't really... Same for, like, don't really care if Majima's gonna show up anymore. But Arl, you know, that's exciting. Anyway. Get on in a sec. Okay. So, do we want to try doing Festival, or do we want to do World Match? I think it would depend on how the skill-based matchmaking favors. What'll be easier. I did notice that I am now so low in points that it is impossible for me to lose points now, no matter what place I come in, because I will only ever be in lobbies with players with over 1,000 points, if not more. So it is now impossible for me to go down in points. And it is very funny. Yeah, let me know when to send an invite, Floppy. I forgot I'm replacing Jet. Good to go. Yeah, I have all this customization stuff set up. Yeah, these are the right ones. Oh yeah, this game also works very nice with smooth motion if you have the graphics card for it. Oh yeah, you're Elizabeth now, by the way. We can see how Festival goes. I guess we'll do Festival for a little while. At least do this so we can get some Mega Man teams. I saw there was a mod that literally changes what the teams are in this festival because they're like robot masters and it's kind of random. Excuse me. Never mind, it's Mega Man, Proto Man, and Airman. I guess it's just the one that replaces Airman. Also, I have a mod that... Oh, cool. I have a mod that replaces gadget descriptions. It adds details to the gadget descriptions. Because it does that, it seems to also break a number of default text strings in the game. And some of these descriptions still look vanilla to me, so I don't think it's... X input, huh. I haven't looked into it firmly, but it's a mod that makes the skill descriptions more accurate. And it's a text mod that fixes that. A separate one. That's enough Neko arc. There we go. Oh, I changed the outfit. Wait, how do I turn her off? There we go. Get out of here. Welcome, Cloud. Yeah, this game works very good with smooth motion if you have the NVIDIA GPU for it. So I'm playing at 120 FPS, and it doesn't really add any discernible input delay to do so, unlike in some other games. Ooh. So Mega Man, Elizabeth, Persona, Vodka Uma Musume, and Proto Man walk into a bar. Leon Kennedy, who is working the bar, turns to them and says, "Horsing around or hardly horsing?" Cloud is in a wheelchair. Thank you, thank you. I pitched the idea to Tom, and I don't really know where it's gonna go, but it would do, Archipelago co-op for all the Mario Kart games. I'd have to see how we would make that interesting. But yeah, Mario Kart 64, Double Dash, and Wii are on Archipelago. Maybe SNES as well, which can all be played split screen. That's what we would do. We would do like split screen through them. Because you can do it where like item checks and stuff. Wow, Mega Man just died. Like item boxes are checks. So that would be kind of cool. Okay, at least it was a teammate. What do I press to mute? What do you mean Cloud and King Julian should be wheelchair buddies? What did you mean by that? He cannot move it. Okay, yeah. How foolish of me. How foolish of me. But yeah, I have to figure out to the extent of the Mario Kart 1 would even be, because I'm not even sure what an endgame goal would be there. If we just did co-op through all of them, I think all those games also have crowd control. That might be more interesting. But I don't know, have to just see. We're probably gonna get it again, but... Oh yeah, Pac-Man's on our team too. It's really cool that it seems to be the standard with the mods for this game to include voice lines. I was really surprised that Elizabeth just had her voice lines. That was a nice surprise. And the music too. And even for the mods that I installed to try but didn't actually use, yeah, they all had functional music and voice lines. Yeah, I wish it was in the actual DLC, yep. Damn it. Oh well. I read that there was a bug with one of the festival modifiers where the unintended effect was that there were no item boxes I believe at the point of when it does the the track rotation, it would just stop dropping items, and everyone was like, man, that's kind of cool. And you know, maybe it is kind of cool to play this game without items. Wouldn't that be nice? Or at least tone down. I don't even think they have to go that far. Like, item balancing, like, doesn't have to go that far. It could just simply be, like, less item boxes. That's it. Straight up, just something like that might be nice. Because, I don't know, it seems that they have been trying to do some balance changes for the game, but there was a point where it was like Tekken Tekken doubling down on its balances, where it's just like, this is probably just how the game is. I think it's to a point you just kind of have to accept that that's how the game's gonna be. But this is a game where it's been fun enough where worth trying out, especially if there's gonna be hype around any updates, and just hope for the best. Yeah, what were some of the other characters? Besides Arl? I don't know, we'll be back for Arl, maybe. Or we'll just play Puyo. You know? Vodka fucking died, and I'm in 12th place. Let's go. 12th place. That's what I get for trying to cut that corner too close.
Finish!
Fuck my life. Okay. Red Angry Bird and Majima Pirate. Excuse me, Red Angry Bird has a name. Damn it, that is what Nick said, isn't it? He was just saying the series name with it too. But I still read it as the Angry Bird that's red. Like John Angry Bird. Yeah, I fucked it up though. Red Angry Bird, Majima Pirate. Angry. Red Angry Bird Defender in chat. Parentheses J. His full name. We're gonna be playing that Mega Man track a lot, aren't we? There is Angry Birds lore right above my head. Yes, please, for the love of God, vote a different map. I did. Oh, I got another thumbs up. I did on the last one too. I didn't vote for Mega Man last time either. I enjoy this Angry Birds lore. There's an Epsilon on the other team. That's just his username. You can't stop me. Get it get it Another great thing about the game is just how clean it is. A lot of the music, even if I have a music mod on, there is an ultra wide patch. So this game looks great, it runs fantastic. Very responsive, controls so well. It's like, I believe Max had said it, you really, like, there's an incredible game underneath here that you have to, like, hold yourself against the item balance to get through. Because the underlying core gameplay is so fucking solid. So I'm simply just not going fast enough. I'm holding a very good item. I don't know when I want to use it though. This item is so good, I don't want to use it right away. I have enough items to make a comeback from the last lap anyway. I guess that'll be my plan. Just kidding, my plan is now. I am now in 3rd place. I am now in 5th. I am now in 6th. I am now in 7th. I am now in 8th. I am now in 10th place. I am now in 11th place. I am now in 12th place. I didn't even get, that's my problem, is you don't even have to get hit by items to go back in place. Which, though I guess everybody boosting would still get toned down if there were less item boxes in general still, I guess. So maybe that still would be some sort of solution. Holding off on getting this game till they add red from Angry Birds. I have good news. Oh, good job, Floppy. Sega has decided that they like money and they will be adding red Angry Bird. And we lost. If I can cope for a minute, at least it's been a while since the last stream of this and the last time I played it. That at least I still get some joy out of that. Comfort character. I'm happy for you. I'm really happy for you. Wahoo! What I really should have done. Oh, everyone else timeout. I think what I legit should have done maybe was opened up a stream of somebody else playing this game and just see how the rate, what do you have to do? How do you have to be playing? Yeah, how do you have to be playing this game to be in first place. He's red angry. He's not on the code on stream. Living legend. Kara 16001. Everyone's favorite. And then there's R. Why here? I don't like it when Klonoa has depression. Rental plate? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, fuck my shit up, whatever. Oh yeah, I have a mod in for Amy and Rouge's voices. At least I think I'm pretty sure I left them in. I think the Amy one's an entirely different person, like, just fan recorded. Rouge, I think, is older voice lines. The Amy one's a bit unnecessary. I don't mind replacing Rouge's voice. What here? Well said, Klonoa. It's like Terry Bogard always says, get back. Get back. I forgot to boost jump. Oh, I forgot those bombs charge over time. Thank you, Floppy. Oh shit. Nice. Got the death. Okay, sure, I'll go this way. Okay, there's a silver in front of me. Let's see if the desync thing was fixed. I heard it wasn't. Oh, that was accurate. Yeah, the placements made sense. And it just goops you. Yeah, how could they get away with that copyright? Wow, we lost. Holy shit. Close game. Would have won if you played red AB. Not to be confused with the blood type. He'd be a short for Angry Bird, by the way. Just using slang chat. PT. God damn it. So what's in this gadget? Cool.
I'll perform this duty to my utmost.
Thanks, Elizabeth. That's why I fuck with you. You always keep it real. Getting Elizabeth a smartphone and showing her Angry Birds. Yeah, it's a mod for Elizabeth over Miku. From Persona. Nice. This game is stupid. Just a lot of shit just happened. And like nothing, but at the same time, nothing happened. Yeah, it's just interesting. I think the idea that like it's really thinking about, and I think a lot of people do too, thinking about rebalancing individual items. But you could just rebalance items as a whole by just making them less common. Like item boxes, just less item boxes. Not like per group of them, but just less groups. I hope that was beneficial, Floppy. I don't know if I fucked you over or not. I don't think I did because we were on a straightaway. It's really surprising how this is like one of the best use cases of smooth motion, which is which smooth motion is just frame gen, AI frame generation. It's crazy how for a game like this fast, it really kind of works the best. Maybe it's because if there is artifacting, it might be at the edge of the screen, and I'm never looking over there anyway. Alright, that was good use by bullet for me.
Finish!
Yeah, going too fast to see the smear. But also, sometimes smooth motion adds input latency. And there's none of that here. I swear to God, if we don't win. Thank God. Alright, we would have won no matter what. And yeah, the skirt is weird on the board, Miku, but at least Elizabeth fits in the car fine. I do not think that woman has her license, though. I very much doubt it. Oh boy, gadget name Various 31. The Five Guys burger car. It's a very glossy burger over there. Yeah, Nick had a lot of cool car designs. And the Bob-omb minecart.
Hello, everyone.
No, yeah.
Hello. Hooray! I believe it's time to let loose, as they say.
Yeah, like, where did they find that line? Like, that's so good.
I'll perform this duty to my utmost.
Nice. Yeah, I need to set up more, I'm still open to more ideas for point redeems for the emotes I can put on my, or whatever I can put on my shoulder here. So like the Neko Arc one, I'm open to more ideas like that. It'll play a sound cue, and then it'll put something on my shoulder. Like Cloud in the wheelchair. And then I'll make those channel point redeems. I do have to figure out how to set it up in a way that they will be replaced by the next one, or at least are timed or something. Oh my fucking God. Did that blow away my bomb? The stupid hydraulic press? Oh my God. There goes slime. I really should have saved that one for later, but I was kind of mashing, so that's on me. Sorry about that, chat. Sorry about that, team. I definitely should have, I would have gotten more mileage out if I saved that slime. I'll try to keep it in mind for the next one. I guess the other thing with this game is there's always a pack. Like, I'm in 10th, but like first place is just like always right there. Like Boom Boo we just saw there, King Boom Boo is the, that's the blue shell. You saw how he was like literally right in front of us? Because like there is always a pack in this game and it's always like right there. Away from Shump. I'm gonna put Shump away. Good job, Nick. He's gonna go down to most rings. Fuck. The puntable. Red Angry Bird. You want to put Red Angry Bird on my shoulder? Will he like that? Where'd the music go? About his opinion. I just don't want him to be angry. Don't want him to be angry. Kind of his thing. See angry, see wheelchair cloud mods in the next game. We just won't have wheelchair cloud mods. We'll just have wheelchair cloud. It's gonna be great. There.
Great. See you later.
I'll perform this duty to my utmost.
Let's go.
Well, at least we got some races without it. Just seeing how long I've been live for. Yeah, custom wheelchairs. Slotting materia into the wheelchair. I can't wait to say that to Phil. Phil's gonna lose his goddamn mind when I say that. Alright, so that was a waste of items. Good to know.
Random track.
Oh, that's hit someone. This is on PC? Yeah, it's on PC. It runs well on Switch to my understanding. But yeah, it's on PC. We're playing the PC version. And welcome, Minnie. It's been a bit. Yeah, it's a very well-running game. It was unironically the best running Unreal Engine 5 game. Yeah, it's UE5. This game is great because it's being worked on by a lot of the more legendary arcade racing staff that's still at Sega. So the core racing in this game is very, very good and fun and engaging, and the way it drifts is really sick. The item balancing is so frustrating. It's gotten better with updates, but this still is, oh good, nice. We gotta like space out when we come back to this game. How many points are in this? Is it 1,000? Excuse me. If we, you know, start winning more, you can get to that pretty quick. And like one play session, that's what I'm getting at. Is there crossplay? Yes. Nick is on Switch. And Floppy and I are on the PC version. So we got Red Angry Bird is gonna come out, and then Majima Pirate. I don't think we're gonna come back for either of them, but we will be back for Arl. To get everything, okay. PS5, oh, Nick's on PS5, oh, okay. But yeah, there's crossplay. Yeah, and staying away from keycard games too. The game is 15 gigabytes, so I don't know if it's keycard. You know, not like that won't be easy to find out. And of course, it'll say right on the box. I alt-tabbed out, so... Oh, there's a Switch 1 version. There's a Switch 1 version. It's like pre-Nights patch. But if you're going to be playing online, you're going to be updating it anyway. It's same with if you get a Switch 2 upgrade. You're going to be just getting that digitally anyway and still have your physical copy. Damn it. The update is 16 gigs. That's practically the whole game. I have to imagine that is like literally just replacing the whole game because the game is still 15 gigabytes on PC. Like the whole install is still that size. But yeah, I was pointing out the size because the reason the Switch 2 games are like that is because they only make Switch 2 cartridges in one size, and that's 64 gigabytes. That's why there's so many companies that are doing game key cards, is because they don't need 64 gigabytes, but that is their only option from Nintendo. Oh, hell yeah. As far as I remember, Nintendo said they're going to make more sizes in the future, but for now, 60. It's just because of the new, like, proprietary storage speeds. It's like the only current availability for it in mass production. And the idea is with more time in the future, it'll be easier to mass produce more sizes. But there's a lot of consequences with that, and that's like game key cards, which really blows. So anyway, yeah, it's like the smaller the game is, the less it justifies having the game key card. So you gotta give it up for devs that go the extra mile and make their games fully on cartridge. And not key cards. Because they are going out of their way and possibly, you know, spending more money than they need to do it. I should have saved that. Download this set. That works. It being cheap. No, it's just this silly new storage format of the Switch 2 carts is just frustrating. And not even really worth it because the transfer speeds from that new cartridge still aren't as fast as the SSD or SD card speeds. So it's like, what's the point of this new format if it's not even... It's a little faster. They're gonna be doing different pricing for digital versus physical. Yeah. If it saves whatever, then... The big thing with this game, drifting in Mario Kart. Drifting in Mario Kart involves holding A and tapping B or using B to turn sharper. So you're holding A while tapping B in Mario Kart. In this game, you're fully letting off the gas to turn sharper. You cannot turn sharply while drifting if you are holding the gas, so you just have to let up on it. You don't have to brake, though you can turn even tighter with the brake. But the important part is just letting off the gas while drifting. Are the carts faster than the micro SD Express? No. The micro SD Express cars are faster than the new cartridges. We know that for texture streaming speeds. That's what the developers have spoken on. Like with Assassin's Creed, they said that they had to they are doing game key card, or they're doing game key cards because their texture streaming is, it needs the speed of like an M.2, and the SSD and the SD card Express is closer to that than the cartridge is. The cartridge can't reach that speed for texture streaming necessary for it. That makes sense with 7. I think 7 Remake would, but 7 Rebirth, yeah, that wasn't gonna fit.
Let's go.
Are we gonna have ads playing soon, by the way? Nah, not for another like 20 something minutes, I think. Yeah, not for a while. Thank God. Cool, cool. Damn it. Ah. Thank you, everybody else on my team. I'm looking forward to saving this monster truck for a while. Oh, and I got the slime. Chat, I got the slime on deck. I will be using it in the third lap. Just a heads up. I will try to save it closer to the end of the third lap, but we'll see. Just a heads up to be prepared for slime. Oh, I'm so far behind, I might not be able to judge when we're about to get to the end of the race. I don't know, so I'm gonna go ahead and just use it. I gotta get through my monster truck before I can use it, so I'm very glad I hit that. Alright, so I could have waited a little bit. Of course, unfamiliarity will do that. Finish! 7 Remake was 90 with Integrate. Let me check. I have it installed right now. I got them all installed. Remake. Yeah, it is 100 gigabytes, 94 gigabytes. And Rebirth is 150. Fuck. Way to go, Sonic fan. Sonic fan 21. Why does it stop there? See what he did to Sonic Fan 1 through Sonic Fan 20. Oh, it's scary. It's spooky. I'm changing characters. I think it's back to vodka. Get it on, get it on. Worm, worm.
Nice.
Greetings.
Nice. Yes. See ya.
I now see the I can't move it anymore meme Jay sent me. It's time for the sleepy gummies. Oh, Jesus Christ. I was in first place. You can screenshot it. I'm in 12th place. Please don't screenshot it. Alright, monster truck. See what else we can get. I guess I'll activate these at the start of the third lap. Goddamn aneurysm. I'm lashing out. Not last. Not last. Oh, cool. I don't think I'm going to 1,000 points, but we'll keep going a little bit longer. Oh, the ads are playing now. That'll be our last ad break of the strings. We got another hour. No ads. Only one way we're getting out of the Mega Man track, and that's Radical Highway. There, I toned down the dynamic light on the character again. Okay, the ads are over. Yeah, let's hope we can get Radical Highway to defeat the Blue Bomber Menace. Okay. Yeah, I toned down the dynamic light on my character. We'll see if that bothers me as much. Turn from ads. So it should be the last ads of the stream. When we see the ads, it gives us an hour of no ads. But I don't think we'll be going for another whole hour. But we'll still keep going for a little bit longer. Maybe with how they do the online or how they're doing these passes, maybe it would be a good idea just to come back for like one of the festival of the upcoming season of characters. Or at least, I guess it really depends on which ones I give a shit about and want to play more of. Arl's just kind of a funny pull, but a lot better than the other options on the roster at the moment, so I think it's pretty cool. The mods get ads, Twitch, the mods get ads too, yeah. I like all of us having monster trucks. Oh my fucking god. Do the devs at Sega like play with like honor rules? Like everyone refrains from just using items as chaotically as literally anyone else does? So like they don't get it? It's like the Tekken devs. It is extremely clear now. The Tekken developers, like nobody in the balancing team can play Tekken 8 plays Tekken at a high level. It is absolutely abundantly clear now. There is nobody working on Tekken 8 that is in rank GOD at all. It is so embarrassingly clear now. And it's not unusual for players to be better at the game than some devs. That can be normal. But it can also be detrimental, and in some cases. And I think in this game's case, maybe. I mean, I don't even know that for sure. I'm just bullshitting right now. For Tekken's case, it's extremely detrimental. Drive a car as a dolphin. I missed the first sentence of Echo the Dolphin. And get a mod for it. As long as we eventually get Sega to Sanshiro. Sega to Sanshiro will warrant playing the game more. I think any returning Transforms characters in general might do that anyway, but still. Angry Birds is owned by a subsidiary of Sega. Yep. That's why it's there. Granted, I mean, that's why that's there. The rest, like, Minecraft and the Viacom characters, that's just, you know, partnerships. The Viacom ones, because the Nickelodeon ones, just because working with Nickelodeon on the Sonic movies. But Sega is huge. Nintendo is kind of one of those only Japanese developers that is only in gaming. Bandai Namco, Square Enix, and Sega are all in multiple mediums. In comic print, media, figures. Sega used to do arcades. I think they still have. Maybe 1, 2. I don't think all the Sega arcades are gone, but definitely most of them. Get regular Majima as a separate character? That would be funny. Takes up a whole separate slot. When is Gino? Gino! You've got... Only video games, only video games, only video games. In a different timeline, I would be seething right now. My whole streaming career and online presence right now would be raging. But that is not this timeline. I used to get very, very angry with Mario Kart, and then I realized I was getting angry at Mario Kart, and now I take breaks when I get angry. I should have saved that slime. Sorry about that, team. I don't know, maybe I can do bad enough and get another slime. Alright, alright. Danica when are we getting Danica Patrick back? Isn't she retired now? I guess that still wouldn't stop her, huh? I took very good advantage of that slime. I used that slime to get all the way from 12th place to 12th place. I should have saved that for the last turn. Oh, wait. Well, that was a waste.
Finish!
Oh, did we win? Most item hits. We didn't win. Hey, how's my archipelago progress going? I can go on the SS Aqua. That's it. Mega's gonna be running the ring engine stack. He's faster than us with the team boost. Sounds like a strategy I would like. Also, when you said Omega, I thought I was still thinking of Mega Man and Omega Sis from Star Force. No shit. Oh, it's a Twitch streamer. Give me a thumbs up. Cool. That might mean I have video evidence of why I get the thumbs ups. Stream and say hi. If I remember, I'll look later. It's weird because I just don't expect it in like a game like this. In TF2, with a fraction of the audience size, it made sense just because that's where the audience would have been anyway. God damn it. I know I do got Sonic fans that watch because of the dude I inspired that did a video on Adventure 1. Did a pretty damn in-depth one, and it's very much like, yeah, that's why I can't do it, is because there's gonna be someone who can do that job way better than me. That is far more passionate about Sonic than I am. And then they're gonna help me when next time I replay Adventure 1. The same thing with when I play Adventure 2, it's always modded. And it's always all these Dreamcast restoration mods, usually. Well, that seemed like a good time to monster truck to me. Maybe for the benefit of the team. But yeah, at least that monster truck got me all the way from 7th place to let's see, 8th place, you know? Good job on the item use, Floppy. I thought I had more hits than that, but I guess I didn't. Thank you, Ichiban Kasuga. Like a freaking dragon. We'll go to the 3-hour stream mark. So we'll do a few more races until 10 minutes from now pass. Give me a second, I need to stand up.
Hello.
Quarp, quarp. I just noticed there's no up next on the Festa schedule. Does it literally end, festival schedule, does it literally end in 10 minutes? No, right, because the weekend just started. I think it's always like that. It must always be like that. It ends on Sunday. That's what I thought. The real Amy Rose is here. Have no fear. The creeper from Minecraft is here. Oh my fucking god.
Random track.
Yeah, maybe I am wearing my I would rather be playing Uma Musume Pretty Derby shirt right now. Alright, thanks to that wisp, I was able to get all the way from first to...
ちょい攻めたかったぜ。
Hey, let's go sit. Oh, Jesus, at least we're not the Proto Man team. Good God. All right, one more race. One more race. Is Pac-Man okay? I don't... Nah, whatever. Last race. Oh, there's the schedule. Ring grab is later. Okay.
I'll perform this duty to my utmost.
All right, last race. Get it on, get it on. Did you know that the real horse did all this?
Random track.
Damn it, I can't get the... Are we able to slipstream off each other? I can't get it. But the way it was going off and on, I wasn't sure if it was from trying to on Nick or not. Or if it was the person right next to him. Bronze Jimbo 213, I think that's that player's name. thanks to timing all of those boosts at the end, I managed to get from 9th. I like this bit, by the way, to 6th. Damn, where the fuck was I? Sorry, team. Bronze Jimbo 123, that's the name. Alright, thanks everyone for tuning in for Sonic CrossWorlds. We'll at least be back for Arl, probably. The game is fun still, though, yeah, I definitely need a good long break between sessions for it. Yeah, good games, good games. Oh boy. Cool. Yep, thanks everyone for tuning in. Let's see here. I'll be doing my other Twitch streams. I don't know what exactly just yet. I'm gonna move this. We'll be doing other Twitch streams throughout the weekend. I'm not sure what yet. I'm not sure which games I'm gonna be catching up on. I'll just see how I'm feeling, see how the mood is, and try to get some work done in between too, and see what I can figure out. I still have to get work done in Dragon Quest, so maybe I'll do that. Angry Bird stream when? Thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, I'll try to be back over the weekend, but we'll see what we got to do, and what I'm up to. Thanks all for tuning in for today.
Lamp
And
oil, rope,
bombs?
You want it?
It's
yours,
yours.
my friend, as long as you have enough rubies.
Thank you all for tuning in and for the continued support, and bye for now.